The steak knife trembled in my grip, its serrated edge catching the dim glow of the chandelier above our table. Across from me, Elliot's lips curled into a smile that didn't reach his eyes, those pale, unblinking orbs that had always unnerved the entire office. But it wasn't his stare that made my blood roar in my ears. It was the woman sliding into the booth beside him, her manicured hand possessively on his shoulder, her familiar laugh slicing through the murmur of the upscale restaurant like a betrayal I never saw coming. Sarah. My best friend. My confidant. The one who'd pushed me into this date with a wink and a "what's the harm? He's harmless." And now, here she was, leaning in to kiss his cheek, her diamond wedding ring glinting like a taunt. "Surprise," Elliot said softly, his voice laced with triumph. "I brought my wife." My fork clattered to the plate, the sound lost in the sudden white noise filling my head. Humiliation burned up my throat like bile. Sarah, who I'd shared late-night confessions with over cheap wine, who knew every scar from my failed engagement, who I'd defended against the office gossips, met my gaze with a cool detachment that twisted the knife deeper. "Anna," she said, her tone syrupy sweet, "you look like you've seen a ghost. Sit down. We have so much to talk about." I didn't sit. My legs locked, muscles coiling as if ready to bolt from this nightmare. The restaurant's air, thick with the scent of garlic butter and aged wine, suddenly felt suffocating. Couples at nearby tables whispered, their eyes flicking our way, sensing the drama unfolding like a live wire. How long had this been going on? Elliot, the office weirdo, the IT guy who lurked in the server room, fixing computers with mumbled apologies and avoiding eye contact. I'd agreed to this date out of pity, egged on by Sarah's insistent nudges. "He's got a crush on you," she'd said last week in the break room, her eyes sparkling with mischief. "One dinner won't kill you. Who knows, maybe he'll surprise you." Surprise. The word echoed mockingly now. This wasn't a date. This was an ambush. "Explain," I managed, my voice a hoarse whisper, fists clenched at my sides. The velvet booth seat dug into the back of my thighs, but I refused to collapse into it. Denial surged first, a frantic scramble in my mind. This had to be a joke, some elaborate prank. Sarah loved those. But her expression, that subtle tilt of her head, the way her fingers intertwined with Elliot's. It was real. Heartbreak clawed at my chest, not for Elliot, but for the friendship I'd built like a fortress against the cutthroat world of corporate ladders. Elliot leaned forward, his awkwardness shedding like a skin, revealing something sharper beneath. "We've been married for 3 years, Anna. Quiet ceremony. Didn't want the office drama." His words were measured, almost rehearsed, but there was a gleam in his eye, resentment long buried, now unearthed. I remembered then, 2 years ago during a team-building retreat, I'd laughed off his clumsy attempt to ask me out. "Elliot, seriously," I'd said to Sarah later, both of us giggling over margaritas. Had she told him? The thought sent a fresh wave of fury crashing over me. Sarah sighed, as if this were an inconvenience. "Sit, Anna. You're making a scene." Her voice, usually warm and conspiratorial, now carried an edge like a blade hidden in silk. I slid back into the seat, not out of obedience, but because my knees threatened to buckle. The waiter approached, sensing the tension, but Elliot waved him off with a polite, "We're fine, thanks." Fine. The word was a lie. "Why?" I demanded, staring at Sarah. "Why hide this? Why push me here?" My mind raced through memories. Her complaints about being single, our double dates that always fell through for her, the way she'd vent about Elliot's creepy vibes to deflect suspicion. Layers peeled back, revealing manipulation I'd been too trusting to see. She exchanged a glance with Elliot, a silent communication that made my skin crawl. "Because you were in the way," she said finally, her tone flat, devoid of remorse. "The promotion to senior analyst. It was mine. But you, with your late nights, your ass-kissing emails to Barrett." The man who'd praised my work ethic while overlooking Sarah's. Resentment flared in her eyes, raw and unfiltered. You think I didn't notice how you undermined me? Sharing my ideas as your own in meetings. That's not. I started, but guilt flickered a shadow in my chest. Had I? In the dog-eat-dog world of our firm, survival meant sharp elbows. But betrayal like this. You could have talked to me. Elliot chuckled, a low, unsettling sound. Talk. Like you talked to me after the retreat. So he knew. Sarah must have fed him every detail, twisting our girl talk into ammunition. Heartbreak deepened into something darker. Obsession, perhaps, with understanding how I'd been so blind. The candle on the table flickered, casting erratic shadows across their faces, making them look like strangers. We needed leverage, Sarah continued, pulling out her phone. She tapped the screen, and a recording played. My voice, tinny but unmistakable, ranting about Barrett's incompetence during a tipsy lunch last month. He's a dinosaur clinging to power. If he doesn't retire soon, someone might have to push him. Harmless venting, or so I'd thought. But edited out of context. It sounded like a threat. Humiliation washed over me anew, hot and prickling. They'd bugged me. Or had Sarah recorded it herself? The restaurant's jazz music swelled in the background, mocking my unraveling composure. What do you want? I whispered, fear coiling in my gut. Doubt crept in. Had I misjudged everything? Was I the villain here? Elliot's smile widened. Your resignation. By Monday. Or this goes to HR and Barrett. With a few enhancements. Blackmail. The word hung unspoken, but its weight pressed down, suffocating. I stood abruptly, chair scraping against the polished floor. You won't get away with this. But my voice cracked, betraying the storm inside. Anger boiling, resentment festering like an open wound. As I stormed out, the cool night air hit my face like a slap, but it couldn't quench the fire igniting within. They thought they'd broken me. They were wrong. That night, alone in my apartment, the city's neon lights bleeding through the blinds, I paced the creaky hardwood floors. The betrayal replayed in loops. Sarah's smug grin, Elliot's vindictive stare. Heartbreak morphed into obsession, fantasies of confrontation flashing like lightning, storming into the office, exposing their marriage, their scheme. But doubt whispered, what proof did I have? They'd covered their tracks. Guilt gnawed too. Had my ambition blinded me to Sarah's struggles? We'd started as interns together, bonding over shared dreams. When had competition poisoned us? I poured a glass of whiskey, the burn down my throat mirroring the ache in my chest. Cold resolve began to form, a fragile armor. They wanted me gone. Fine. But not without a fight. The next day at work, the office hummed with oblivious energy. Phones ringing, keyboards clacking, the scent of fresh coffee masking the undercurrents of rivalry. Sarah avoided my desk, but I caught her whispering to Elliot in the hall. Their heads close, intimate. Jealousy. No, deeper, resentment at their hidden life, built on my exclusion. I feigned normalcy, smiling through meetings, but inside plans seeded. Researching recording laws on my phone during lunch, imagining countersuits. Fear tempered it. Losing my job meant starting over at 32 in a cutthroat market. Moral conflict raged. Was revenge worth descending to their level? By evening, as rain pattered against my window, obsession took root. I scrolled through old photos. Sarah and me at happy hours, toasting successes. Each image fueled the fire. They'd humiliated me, but I'd make them pay. Early. Strategically. Sunday blurred in a haze of plotting. I drafted an anonymous email to Barrett, hinting at office romances affecting productivity, but deleted it. Too risky. Instead, I dug into their lives, social media crumbs, mutual connections. Elliot's awkward posts hid a tech-savvy side. Sarah's polished profile screamed ambition. Hidden motives emerged. Rumors of Elliot's past firings for ethical breaches. Had Sarah married him for his skills? As Monday loomed, tension coiled like a spring. I'd resign, but on my terms. The game had just begun. The resignation letter sat on my desk like a loaded gun, the crisp paper edges sharp under my fingertips. Monday morning, the office air conditioner hummed a monotonous dirge, chilling the sweat on my brow. Barrett's door loomed at the end of the hall, glass walls revealing his hunched form over spreadsheets. I could walk in, hand it over, slink away defeated. But the fury from that restaurant night had hardened into something colder, more calculated. Resentment pulsed with every heartbeat, a drumbeat urging action. Sarah and Elliot thought they'd won. They'd underestimated me. I lingered by the coffee machine, watching them. Sarah laughed at something on her screen, her wedding ring hidden under a sleeve, still playing the single card. Elliot shuffled past, avoiding my gaze, but I caught the flicker of unease. Let them wonder. Inner turmoil churned. Fantasies of public shaming warred with doubt. What if I failed? Became the office pariah. Guilt surfaced too. Revenge meant manipulating others just like them. But heartbreak justified it. Their betrayal had shattered trust I'd never rebuild. I sipped burnt coffee, the bitterness matching my resolve. First move, reconnaissance. During lunch, I accidentally bumped into Mia, the HR rep, in the elevator. "Rough weekend?" she asked, eyeing my tense posture. "You have no idea," I replied, forcing a laugh. Dialogue flowed naturally, laced with hints. "Heard any weird rumors lately? Like secret office marriages?" Mia's brow furrowed, but she shook her head. Seed planted. Suspense built slowly, a quiet undercurrent. Back at my desk, I accessed shared drives. Nothing incriminating, but Elliot's admin privileges meant he could alter logs. Obsession drove me. After hours I stayed late, the office emptying into echoing silence. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting long shadows. I tested passwords, recalling Sarah's birthday from old cards. No luck. Frustration mounted, but so did determination. That night, rain lashed the windows as I hunkered over my laptop at home. Deep web searches, ethical, questionable, but morally gray felt right. I found forums on digital forensics, learning to trace IP addresses. Fear prickled. What if they monitored me? Paranoia set in, every creak in the apartment a potential intruder. Tuesday brought escalation. Sarah cornered me in the ladies' room, mirrors reflecting her feigned concern. "You okay? You look off." "I'm fine," I snapped, washing my hands vigorously, water splashing like suppressed rage. "Just surprised by some revelations." Her eyes widened fractionally, hint of fear. Tension thickened, unspoken accusations hanging. "About the date?" she probed, voice casual but probing. I dried my hands, meeting her gaze in the mirror. "About trust. And who I can really count on." The words dripped with subtext, heightening suspense. She faltered, excusing herself quickly. Victory small but sweet. Elliot was next. I emailed him a tech issue, luring him to my cubicle. He arrived fidgeting, tools in hand. "Screen freezing," he mumbled, avoiding eye contact. As he worked, I leaned in. "Nice dinner the other night. Your wife seems familiar." His hands froze on the keyboard, color draining. "What do you want, Anna?" "Honesty." "Well." "Manipulation." "Nothing. Yet." The threat lingered, building pressure. He left hastily, but not before I glimpsed his screen, open to an encrypted folder. Clue noted. Inner conflict peaked that evening. Pacing my living room, rug threads worn underfoot, I questioned everything. Was this obsession consuming me? Fantasies shifted. Not just exposure but ruin. Hack their accounts. Plant evidence. Moral lines blurred. Guilt whispered of forgiveness, but resentment drowned it. They'd humiliated me. Poetic justice demanded reciprocity. Wednesday, acceleration. I anonymously tipped a colleague about inappropriate use of company resources. Whispers spread, office gossip, a slow poison. Sarah's meetings grew tense, her laughs forced. Elliot buried himself in the server room, emerging pale. But doubt crept. Were they on to me? A suspicious email appeared in my inbox. Blank from an unknown sender. Warning. Paranoia spiked, sleep evading me. Cold resolve hardened. No turning back. Thursday night breakthrough. Using a borrowed VPN, I traced Sarah's social trail to a hidden account. Photos of their wedding, timestamps matching office absences. More emails forwarded from my account to theirs. Proof of tampering. Anger surged, visceral, fists clenching until nails bit palms. Planning intensified. I'd confront Barrett Friday, but with twists. Forge a narrative. They framed me out of jealousy. Evidence compiled. A dossier of screenshots, timelines. Fear mingled with excitement, heart pounding like a war drum. Friday dawned stormy, skies mirroring my turmoil. Office buzzed with undercurrents, rumors of an HR investigation. Mia pulled Sarah aside. Elliot sweated visibly. I entered Barrett's office, letter in hand, but not resignation. "We need to talk," I said, voice steady despite the quake inside. He gestured to sit, bushy brows furrowed. "About them." I laid out the folder. Photos, recordings, mine ironically, traces of their hacks. Dialogue unfolded tensely. They blackmailed me. Used a fake date to trap me. Barrett's face darkened, shock genuine. "Proof. Enough." Suspense crested as he reviewed. Silence stretching like taut wire. Then the twist. Barrett sighed. "Anna, it's serious. But Sarah's my niece." The room spun. Nepotism. Hidden motives unveiled. Sarah's promotion push. Elliot's marriage tying into family favors. My revenge, aimed at them, now ensnared a bigger web. But I press. Cover it up and it goes public. Bluff. Partially. Moral conflict raged. Blackmailing the boss? Grayer than ever. He relented, promising investigation. As I left, Sarah waited outside, eyes blazing. "You bitch," she hissed. "This isn't over." "Oh, it is," I replied, cold smile masking inner triumph and guilt. Outside, rain cleared to sun, but consequences loomed. Revenge tasted bittersweet. Obsession sated but scars permanent. Justice. Perhaps. But at what cost? Elliot vanished that afternoon. Fired quietly. Sarah followed. Resigned. Me. Promoted but isolated, trust shattered. The payoff. A leaked audio, not theirs, but Barrett's confession of cover-ups, anonymously sent to the board. My final twist. Ensuring poetic downfall. In the end, betrayal birthed a monster in me. And in the quiet nights, guilt whispered, was it worth it? The answer, cold and resolute, yes.